finally back. So let's This house believes Trinners are winners, and these lovely Trinity students and UTA in front of me will bring us cases from either sides. What are we, winners or losers? It's a tough one, to be honest. So I'm in my third year here in Trinity, so I'm about halfway through my time. So I thought tonight I would share with you all my biggest Trinity L's. So, that time in first year when my laundry machine broke and I ran out of underwear, so I had to wear bikini bottoms for an entire week. Getting rejected from every DU Players production I have ever auditioned for, and continuing to audition. The closest I've ever gotten to a first was when the history department thought I was an ESL student. And then getting with the guy I met at Dicey's Monday only after he stole my ID. Because I had to get a taxi. So I know what you're all thinking. Jane, why would you share all of this with a room of complete strangers? Why would I, in such a candid display of vulnerability, tell you all about my Trinity L's? Well, that's because I'm awesome. No, like seriously, I'm the coolest person I know. And if these things can happen to me, and I can turn out this great, you can too. So, you are not defined by your L's, but you are defined by your wins. So here are some of my biggest Trinity wins. So in first year, I got a tringe, because you know what? Jay from the Hist freshers debate was really cute that night. I had my makeup all done up, and my boobs looked amazing, so I get it. Last year, I achieved something called free ball, where I snuck into T-ball, and earlier that night went to a free open bar drinks. So on the most expensive night of the year for Trinity students, I spent no money. I've never had a recent. And then my hands down biggest Trinity win was probably joining the Hist. I've met so many of my closest friends in the society. I got to meet insane people like Hank Green and Joe Baez. The Hist even gave me my internship this summer, which is pretty cool. We were pretty expensive with my numbers. So, as you can see, I've had some Trinity low points, but some real Trinity high points. I don't know which side will win tonight, but what I do know is that winners stick together, and so do losers. So, join us after this in Phil Combo, the room right next door, for a free wine reception, and then we'll all head off to Doyle's. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's debate, and I hope you can have your first Trinity win by joining the Hist and getting just as awesome as me. Woo!
And are there any objections to my signing these minutes as a true and accurate account of the last public business meeting? Then I shall duly sign. Speeches are 7 minutes in length. At the first and last minute, you will hear this bell, and audience participation is encouraged. The question before the House this evening is, this House believes all Trinners are winners, and I should now like to call upon the first speaker, Donald Walsh, to propose the motion to the House.
Ladies and gentlemen of the College Historical Society, good evening. And what an evening it is, for after a long summer break, the Hist is finally back. And for some reason, they have let me speak first. Good God, who knows why, but I feel like I have so much power. I can say or do what I want, and it will go on the record for years. Any suggestions? Go as wild as I can. No, but in all seriousness, I would like to thank everyone for coming back to what will hopefully be another year of our performative nonsense. I would like to thank the freshers for showing up, even if it kind of means, they're not so sure about their course and this university that they've come and get proven that they're worth going here. Glad you're here anyway. Here's to 4 more years of you carrying on our shenanigans. I must also thank our committee, some of which are sitting down there, some of which are around the room for putting in the hard yards over the summer. Without them, none of this would be possible. Finally, I would like to thank the English for building Trinity College Dublin. So the Irish could steal it and run it better. Why are Trinners winners? And why did we all decide to come here? That is an important question. For me, I came to Trinity because of the culture of this place. And I would like to teach the freshers in the audience a little bit about the culture of the place they'll be spending 4 years in. And what conversation about culture can be had without the pub? That holy institution has meant so much to us all, I think. I've even heard it referred to as the 8th wonder of the modern world. It's something else. I wouldn't go that far myself, but like practical pyramids, sort of next level. But I digress. You may ask, surely the pub is just another student bar. How wrong you would be. Pavilion Bar, built in 1885 and moved to its current location in 1902, is the quintessential Irish student bar. It was the foundation for all that was to come, and it is a standard bearer of quality. My God, if those walls could talk. I would not want to hear a single story from them because it's all chaos. But over a century of entertaining Trinity students has turned that land into a sacred site. To speak anecdotally for a minute, as a first-year maths student, I had a 2-hour lecture every Friday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. This, ladies and gentlemen, was unadulterated hell. No one wants to sit there for 2 hours trying to prove that the real numbers are dense or continuous or whatever the hell we were supposed to be doing. No one was listening. And let me tell you, there is no better feeling than leaving that lecture at 6 p.m, making a beeline for the pub, ordering a portion of spicy wings and a pint, and sitting up and watching the sun go down over the campus. It's those small moments that make it worth actually getting up in the morning rather than deciding to sack it off for the 5th day in a row. And you might ask, can you not do this in other campuses? Not really. Other student bars, they're largely addendums. They're short, squat buildings shoved into some corner with only a view of brick and mortar. None of them are put up high over the campus to see everything like palace. And let's talk about the worst offender, UCD. Many of you in the audience will have friends in UCD. After all, why not? They are lovely people. And many of you will at some stage venture to see UCD's clubhouse bar. I will warn you, prepare to be disappointed. Not only is it a room in a dark basement of their sports building, it's also miles from everything. You almost have to take 3 feckin' buses to get from your lecture hall to the pub. And I think that's unacceptable for a student in this country to be more than a 5-minute walk away from their bar of choice. Quite frankly, it is un-Irish and it is cruel and degrading treatment, and I will not stand for it. And worse still, once you've had your fill in the clubhouse and you want to go for a bit of boogie in your club of choice, it takes you over an hour to get there because it's in the middle of nowhere. 50 years ago, that was a field. But at the pub, at the good pub, once you've said your prayers and you've been blessed by the holy carling or your X-Lite vodka soda or whatever your choice is, for only a hop, skip, and a quick blackout away from upstairs Doyle's, where you can be dancing like there's no tomorrow. Isn't that brilliant? And that's just regular Friday. That's just what happens every single Friday of the year. But once a year, the holy day arrives, and T-ball tickets go on sale, and everyone gets dressed up in their finery, music's in the air, and pilgrimage commences. Because T-ball is the largest private party in all of Europe. And it's a sacred quest to a sacred ground that leaves you blessed for another year of study. Because if all else fails, you fail all your exams, and if you have to do your resits, at least you've got Pad Friday. Yes.
Is the T-ball lineup not increasing, getting worse and worse?
Who the hell is going to T-ball for the lineup? T-ball is your opportunity to wear a tux or a dress on campus and get absolutely hammered where you're supposed to be learning. Because we are all here to get a good bit of education. And I'm sure all the other lovely speakers will tell you what a great education you're getting. But I think it doesn't matter. As long as you're fun, it's all that counts. It's not the journey after all, it is the... No, it's not the destination. This is why I should have let you speak first. But now, I have to leave you to help set up one of the other oldest and noblest of Trinity traditions. And that is the free wine happening next door after this. A quote from the Bible. The Gospel according to Mark, this is 100% real, it's about the Last Supper. Get it up here. And in the same manner, when supper was over and all the disciples had left, Peter remained with Jesus at the table, drinking the sacramental wine. And there they stayed until the sun came up on Good Friday morning, and until Peter did say, Jesus, that was some night, wasn't it? And the good Lord did say unto him, it was him, but it was no half Friday. Ladies and gentlemen,
I'd like to thank that speaker for that excellent speech. I would like to now call upon the next speaker, Georgiana Clare, to continue the debate.
I wish I could have brought a Bible to the UCD handbook of achievements. It's too heavy to carry on 3 whole buses. Oh my god. You all think you're so much better than us, okay? You made an elite little circle, a private party, if you will. Maybe just because you rank higher on a silly little thing like a World University ranking. I call that objectification. I am more than just a number. Thank you personally. I worked a personality. She's a 10. She only discovered slavery is wrong and changed her migraine name in 2023. I was thrown in my jail. I can love that person's eyes. Thank you. And even if there is so wonderful about making it into Trinity, number 1, I just walked in. It's not that hard. But number 2, you let a million tourists, I think. But number 2, there are 22,000 of you. They call that a participation ribbon. Anyway, if you were listening, you'd have heard my name. You're probably too busy plotting your next Tebow outfit. Newsflash city, only about a third of you are going to get together. This would never happen in UCD. Our goal to Lost Lane is yet to sell out. Please. Yes, I'm needed. Anyway, so yeah, my name is Georgiana Clare, and this is my story. I go to a little college we call UCD. I studied law and philosophy. I'm in my 2nd year. But I haven't always been better than you. In fact, I used to be one of you. What? Yes, I did attend this very institution for 3 weeks before I got a touch of the common sense and dropped out. Thank the Lord. And actually, I was wearing this outfit on my very last day here. It was actually when I went to this Hist karaoke thing. Yes, Money Society, I know. Yeah, I didn't want to wear another outfit, so I had to read it. Bad juju. Anyway, I got my first choice in Trinity. I'm doing classical civilization with Middle Eastern, Jewish, and Islamic civilization. And I was just wondering, actually, are any of you doing that particular combo? And I said, haha, be quiet, I think I'm hot. Right, first at the clubhouse, thank you. Anyway, so yeah, on my first day, I'm actually glad that I'm doing it, it's a shit combo. On my first day, I arrived late to the Middle Eastern Jewish Islamic civilization group meeting because the arts walk is such a maze. It does not need to be like that. Anyway, I discovered that there are only 9 people in this particular course. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. It is a private party after all. Anyway, then on my next day, and then I discovered that there's only one other woman doing the exact same combination as me, and it's a 68-year-old woman called Bertha, which is like, I also did try to befriend Bertha, and Bertha was not so keen. Let me be private party, please. Okay. Anyway, so then I arrived at my first day of my actual lectures of classical civilization, and we're doing ancient Greek poetry because yes, that's really important, yeah. And I arrived at 5 minutes late because I'm nonchalant and cool. Duh, I'm a Trinner. And I actually think you are a Trinner, not perfectly curating your nonchalance. Are you even doing it right? No. Anyway, so I walk in on a guy speaking. Red flag. Number 1, why is a guy speaking? This is really unfortunate, girls and gay. Number 2, literally, why are you speaking so loud? Anyway, he's, what is he saying? Golden handcuffs are still handcuffs. I'm sorry, what? What do you even mean? You're such a Trinner. That is disgusting. Actually, please go outside, touch some grass. I don't know, do what you do best. I don't know what that is, masturbate to power over Trinners. Whatever it is that you do. Anyway, so now I've clarified that I have experienced both. This means that my word is real, powerful, and true. Thank you. So I have one thing to say. Trinners are winners. Who is saying this? The Trinners. You literally can't. You need someone else to call you a winner to be a winner. It's like you can't just appoint yourself president because then you're like Kim Jong-un. That's just not that sexy. He's not that nonchalant and cool. Thank you. Argument flaw and number 1. Number 2, I think we can all rhyme. Trinners are winners. Trinners are sinners. It's not that hard. A UCD student can do it. Okay. My next point: sport. I know this is a debate. I know how much you guys know about sport. It's not chess. But let me explain something to you, okay? When you lose to every team, you can't really call that a winner. When you play UCD's third team. Embarrassing. Yeah, and in other circles, in exclusive, not private party circles, we call that a loser.
You lied?
Yes.
When was the last time UCD won Euros?
The Hist themselves, people like Neve, Prachi, Maya, many people amazing, lovely people, Niall as well. I just want to say, to impart some wisdom, these are the most talented debaters, lovely people. To all the freshers, you should so get involved with the Hist. And also study law. The law people are amazing. Thank you so much for having me. It's been amazing.
For that wonderful speech. I would now like to call on Lucy May Roberts, the Treasurer of Law Society.
Trinners is for winners. Sorry. You should Google it, which like I did, because when you're sitting with like a blank page the day before your speech, like you should just Google it. So it says it's an informal slogan referring to Trinity College Dublin, suggesting that being a student or a graduate of Trinity, it's like a mark of success and prestige. But like, what does it really mean? So my name is Lucy May, and I'll tell you what it means. I'll tell you that it's true that like Trinity is for winners. Let's break it down. So a Trinner is a Trinity student, and what defines one? And like probably standing here on a Wednesday night, like is really peak Trinity student. So, like, I'm probably up there. But yeah, it's the age-old question. But like, apart from the GMP on a Wednesday, what's a winner? For me, it's nonsense. The complete nonsense that everyone speaks all the time. You can't walk up to just anyone and say, oh, can't make it tonight, sorry, I'm meeting the provost in the Rose Garden. We're going to talk about like my capstone probably, and then we're going to play tennis and volley. Like, I mean, no one gets to that means except the select few. Samuel Beckett himself actually said it twice. So, like, but also what about like, baby, okay, you've already touched your skinny flat white from the table. Like, I know famously say this. Come on. Anyways, library, everything is shortened. Library, lit. Trinity Orchestra, George. Law and French, no, maybe that's Len. Dublin University, Trinity College, Dublin, maybe that's Trin. Like, we don't have time for anything these days. Everything is short. I'm like, what's more premium than your own language? Your own way of communicating with your peers. I dare all of you to go home and speak to someone else in a different university and ask them what those sentences mean. Like, I personally don't talk to anyone outside Trinity. Like, just let me know what they say, because I wouldn't know. And for those of you that don't know, I'm a final year law student. And I've had like super winning moments on this campus for the last 3 years. Stuff that could probably put me up there with the likes of Oscar Wilde, Bram Stoker, Paul Gaskell, like, come on, guys, I fear I'm next. I'm on awesome. Like, Zoya's on it, but like, I'm nice on it. So, yeah, I ran completely unopposed for third year rep. Winner. Like, winning feeling when they called my name. I also received 6 reopen nominations votes for that race. No one's winning quite like me. Oh, subsequently then got cancelled for being third year rep for Theresa May. I don't know if that's appropriate to make a Theresa May joke, but like, get my portrait up in the long room. Huge things coming, right? And getting back from the Shelburne for some serious awful behaviour. Like, girls, I'm talking, think about your first time on the beer. Double it. And give it to the next person. I personally wasn't involved in any of that terrible behaviour. Apologies to everyone involved, but UCD, you guys might find that distasteful, perhaps even uncouth. We didn't. I'm going to tell my kids about that someday. With like a wistful glance into the distance, I'm going to be like, I can't go back. You know? Like, it's just Ireland's best hotel banning the law society. It doesn't really get much better. Exam season, lock-in season, the silent darts to ODS, and the worst person you know tells you that the topic that you haven't done is 100% on the exam. 75th best university in the world, you're getting hypothermia in the library. So, the reason that the blue in the Berkeley pit, it's probably the bowling pit now. Whatever. And that one free seat in the library, it's beside the person you kissed in D2 in literally 2023. Like, it's probably the worst thing that's ever happened to you. Win after win. Anyways, sorry. I've probably been like a bit too harsh for someone on the proposition, like Trinners is for winners after all. But on a genuine note, like it's really not that bad. Like I really love it. It's year 4 and I'm getting used to it for sure. When you tell that poor young fella in Converse that you actually study in Trinity, it's just down the road, he'll inevitably roll his eyes and say, oh, Trinners is for winners. And I can say, yeah. Yeah, it actually is. I don't care because on some level day to day, like there are wins. If you look for it, love is really on ground. And he wouldn't really get cricket pitch when it's really sunny and your stuff's in Usher too when it's about to be taken away. Like he doesn't get that. Like he just doesn't get the significance of a crave outside on your hip. Like do you know like the maternal edge? He just doesn't get it.
The key for the Cardiff Chews lunch deal. Oh, when the T-ball breaks. Don't talk shit about them, you haven't been. Girls, they're epic. They're like the tiny, small, insignificant wins to some, but to me, they have been the soundtrack of the last 3 years of my life. So they're really not that bad after all. We are all humans. Thank you.
That wonderful speech. I would like to now call on Chris Kelly, the Secretary of LAWSOC, to continue the debate.
When writing my speech last night, from my friend's front square accommodation, I was lost. At the end of the day, how could I, a law student and therefore the apex of a winner, ever think that this place was anything other than a sanctuary, reserved exclusively for the best of the best, the creme de la creme of people attending Irish University? Frankly, everything about me screams winners. Look at this jumper. A jumper I got in perhaps the most Trinners way possible, thrifted from a charity shop in a random European city when on my reading week trip. This jumper is one of many stories that Trinners have. A piece of their outfit that can be vague and mysterious about it to seem more interesting than just saying it's from Zara. Then, last night, as I was sipping my glass of wine with a beautiful view of the Camp Nile, I realized I had it. I knew how to begin to try and write in opposition to this motion. All I had to do was put myself in the shoes of someone who doesn't go to Trinity, and not in the going on Erasmus way. Instead, I would have to imagine myself as going to another Irish university. Gross. This act of radical empathy, at least for a man, really shifted my perspective. I mean, now I would have to look on with jealousy at everything I knew and loved. I decided to do exactly what I know people who don't attend Trinity do. Doom scroll Tringe in a dark room in the middle of the night and act like every Trinity student ever would berate me at a South Dublin house party, or in the smoking area of Workman's. For all those new winners in the audience who are unfamiliar with Tringe, it's basically Trinity's very own Gossip Girl, but instead of documenting the drama between privileged Manhattan girls, it's documenting the drama between Trinity students that are too afraid to confront their situationship, or admit that they have a crush on their lecturer. This perspective shift allowed me to properly get into the crux of why Trinners aren't winners. And that really starts within my own course. On my Tringe deep dive, quite literally the first post I stumbled on read like this: JS girls in law are so fake and they hate each other. This was right after reading the slide before that said, I'm genuinely so horny all the time. From this poignant moment of research, I knew two things. One, Trinity students live for the drama. And two, they're genuinely horny all the time! And to that JS Oliver, this is the first week back. I know, as a Trinity student, we all want the tea, but how can you already be spilling when the water isn't even hot yet?
What was the senior fresh ball drama from last year? Like, we never found out. What was it?
No comment. This points to the biggest Trinity problem, the Linda Doyle-run surveillance state that has emerged. Examples of this include struggling to finish the Wordle during their 2-hour 9 a.m. lecture. Tringe will be hearing about this, you failure. Come through campus after the worst one-night stand of your life. Don't worry, Fashion Sock will say your smudged eyeliner and oversized, newly acquired black rock jersey is so campus couture, putting you straight into their next Instagram post. Listening to the Wicked soundtrack to try and get your way through the 5-minute study break that you've taken despite the 1,000 words left on your essay due tomorrow. Watch out for that pretentious art student with too much time on their hands doing street interviews about what people are listening to on campus. Taking a much-needed nap in the library after staying up all night finishing that 1,000 words left on the essay. Don't worry, your photo will be immediately put on the Trinity Sleeps Instagram. This Linda Doyle surveillance state ensures that everyone here is a part of the Trinity hegemony, starting with ditching their county jersey for the Trinity uniform, a vintage leather jacket and an inflated sense of self. And ending with cosplaying as working class despite holding on to a €6 matcha and an internship from a big four that daddy got you. This identity crisis is chronic in Trinity and means that we all have the exact same stories and the same AI-generated essays. The Trinity experience has become identical and not for better. From dicey Mondays and course test, all the way to a freshers fling that somehow turned into a traumatic 5-month situationship and now makes you look over your shoulder every time you're on Pusher 2, keeping you up at night wondering if anyone could ever love you the same way. Okay, maybe that one was a little bit too specific. I digress. This normal people pipeline that reduces everyone into either a Marianne or a Connell has given us all main character syndrome and no personalities. Arguably, this makes none of us winners. Instead, being a Trinner has been reduced to a participation trophy in the form of a diploma accompanied by a LinkedIn post, as well as a crippling identity crisis that will only continue to worsen into your 20s. If you don't believe me, just look at the Trinners dropouts, who actually have personalities that they didn't lift directly from a poorly edited TikTok and mid-lecture Pinterest board doomscroll. When better to talk about our notable alumni that happen to all be first-year dropouts than Freshers Week? Just to mention a few, CMAT left Trinity after only 6 months spent in the course, best known for Trinners who will mansplain crypto to you in the line at the path. Best. Looking at our next dropout on the list, who after being refused a gap year by Trinity's own equivalent of a bureaucratic despot, the academic registry, Hosier left Trinity after first year, adding yet another blow to the limited talent pool of this university, only for us to truth his viral T-ball performance on TikTok. And last but certainly not least, the hottest priest of all, Andrew Scott, who only lasted a year before giving up on being subjected to inhaling all that cigarette smoke from the benches in front of the arts club. One final and important person to mention, although not a dropout, is Paul Mescal. His experience here was so traumatic that he sprinted, like he does after every one-night stand, towards the opportunity to play a depressed student in Normal People. Thank you guys.
Kelly for that amazing speech. I would now like to call on Nora Collins to continue the debate.
I'd like to start by clarifying 2 things. Number 1, I did not ask for SCH to be written on the return. Like, I actually promise you. I got the email and I was like, I'm just like, you did not need to put that in. And he was like, I just thought that like it would be very rude not to because you got skulls. And I was like, no, like I'm normal, like I'm so normal, you don't have to include it. Like it's embarrassing, guys. Like I did not ask for that. Secondly, the rumors are true. I am related to Michael Collins. Yes. He is in fact my great-grand uncle. So like it's a bit distant, but I am gonna keep making it my entire fucking personality for the next 2 years of Trinity. You might ask, Nora. Like, wasn't Michael Collins, like, super Republican? Like, didn't he hate, like, UK and Queen Elizabeth and maybe the institutions of the monarchy in Dublin? Like, wasn't that true, I say? I think if Michael Collins were alive today, I know what university he would be going to. This Michael Collins was a winner. And there is only one university in which you can only win. Yeah, so I went to Trinity. My 2 older sisters went to Trinity, and my younger sister has just started in Trinity. So we're 4 for 4 on the Trinity front. And I think everybody here, most people here, have probably chosen Trinity. Like, if you're all here in the chamber tonight, put up your hand if you are attending a course in Trinity. Come on. Do you think you're losers? Like, genuine question. I'm actually asking, do you think that you're coming to this debate and you're going to be like, oh my god, fucking hell, I'm a loser. Oh my god, not all Trinners are winners. If you chose to come here for a reason, like obviously to convince you, and like that's like the base point that I'm operating off of. So yeah, I think Chris did a disservice. Like he mentioned all of these like Trinity alumni, and he like missed like quite a lot. So yeah, he got Paul Mescal, Oscar Wilde, Samuel Beckett, Edward Carson, Robert Emmett, Sally Rooney, Eamon de Valera, the guy who named the electron, etc., etc. Who does UCD have? Oh yeah, James Joyce. Like, okay, they named like the library after him. If you think
wife, Nora. It is, like, if you have not read them, he describes her farting in so much detail. Like, they are atrocious. Please read them. The other, like, notable person I could find was Ryan Tuberty. He is, like, still recovering from the Ortiz scandal 2 years ago. Yeah, and then I talk about, like, maybe the, like, next only relevant university is UCC. My parents did go there, so I have to mention them. When I looked up UCC famous alumni, Owen Hayes came up with no picture. I was like, and then they had, like, only Cillian Murphy. Like, he did law, I think, for, like, probably a month, and then he was like, I cannot stand to be here any longer. And now, like, I'm out of serious universities. Like, there are more universities in Dublin. There is one in the Atlantic. Where is that? ATU? Oh, my Limerick? I don't know where these cities are, guys. I don't know where these are. Like, yeah, on a serious note, like, Trinity is so beautiful. Like, where else you can find a big fuck-ass red box? Like, we had a motion for Maidens last year that was like, this has to tell the Book of Kells. And I was like, you cannot. That red box is like our home. Like, we can't get her. She makes Trinity what she is. Like, the tourists go in there and they have such a good time with, like, the holograms of, like, the Book of Kells. It's so authentic, and they go home and they tell their families that the Book of Kells was the most magical thing they've ever seen. Oh, like, they actually don't give a fuck about the Book of Kells. Actually, like, it is not that impressive. Yeah, I saw, like, this TikTok that was like most beautiful university campuses in the world. Like, the world. And it was like these amazing ones in, like, Norway, in the fjords and stuff. We were number 2. Like, number 2, they were like, picture of the old library. And we're like, wow, it's so dark academia vibes. And I think that's why we're all winners, because we get to scam people into thinking that the entirety of Trinity is from Square. Like, I get to come in the morning, and the sun's shining, I take a picture of the Campanile, and then I go to my 9 a.m. double seminar in the arts block, where there are no windows. And I'm like, oh my god, let me out. And then I have another double in the Hamilton, even though I am a law student, I don't do science. But I still get to pretend that I have been in Front Square in the GMB my entire life, and things like Goldsmith don't exist. If you haven't had a lecture in Goldsmith, you have to fucking wait, oh my god. It's so humid and cold and hot in there at the same time. Yeah, but, yeah, on a real note though, like, we actually have such a good student culture here. Like, I don't know what clubs you guys have in UCD, but I know you don't have, like, 3 debating societies for no reason. Like, we need to have 3. Yeah, we have, like, opportunities. You can knit, you can, like, sell out an SMF, and you can go to a good debating society, like, where it's really fun, or you can go to the Thursday night debates. Yeah, I'm gonna do a bit now, wait. Yeah, sure.
Why didn't you mention also?
I don't know.
We're the best.
I'm a law student. I am not part of law stock. Law stock are really, really cool, and they're doing a good event on Monday. Like, where's the Tangy Branch? They're going to UCD. Anyway. Choose Trinity. Choose, basically, the Oxbridge of Ireland, or just Oxbridge in general. Choose town instead of Belfield or, like, fucking Grange Gorman or wherever it is. Choose clout with Americans. Choose the PAV. Like, please sponsor me. I spend so much time and money there. I really, really want vouchers for the PAV. Choose actual food options near campus instead of, like, 2 canteens and a fuck-ass, like, Chinese restaurants. Yeah, guys, go to Tan and Sprout. Again, please sponsor me. Choose to be a little pretentious because, like, we're in university and we're never going to have the chance to be this pretentious ever again in our lives. Yeah, choose 2 debating societies instead of 1. Choose the Hist. Oh, no, I'm just joking. Choose at least 2 of a scarf, a weird hat, an organically sourced tote bag, or a patterned skirt, and always Doc Martens. Choose upstairs in Workman's. Choose notions. Choose having to flash your ID to the bouncer in the Lecky because they haven't managed to fix the scanner in 5 months or something. And choose half of the Lecky being quarantined off, and they haven't even explained it. Like, it is still quarantined off. Yeah. So I think clearly, based on that, thing from Trainspotting, I've never watched Trainspotting. Someone told me I should do that bit, but I'm hoping it was effective. You need to choose Trinity. You already have. So unless you think that you are a loser, unless you want to look at yourself tomorrow and say, I voted for myself to be a loser, like, there isn't one fucking side in this debate. Like, it's pretty obvious. You need to be a winner. We all are.
this debate.
Okay, so, just like Chris, when I was asked to speak in this debate, I was also a little dismayed to have been asked to speak on the opposition. Considering we are trade students, it's a hard motion to get people to speak passionately against, and it was particularly hard for me, because I'm actually almost defined by my love for Trinity. Me and Chris are actually very similar. I'm also a love-all Apex predator. But every second Instagram story I post is an aesthetic photo of the campus. I'm the first to gush about my love for Trinity when someone from my hometown asks, and I've reached a point where I'm greeted by name by the bartenders of the pub when I buy my daily exile. So, you can imagine my deep dismay. So when, from May to August of this year, I found myself in deep, miserable exile. Yes, Kama. I was banished to the most desolate, rural, miserable place. So much so that I was completely cut off from life as I know it. I am, of course, talking about Corks. I had to live with no modern form of transportation, no signs of good nightlife, and no sign of a single person with good fashion sense. So during my exile, I had a lot of time alone to think and reflect. And for the first 2 weeks, I did nothing but yearn to make my return to Trinity. But the more time passed, the more I felt myself recovering from an intense case of Stockholm Syndrome. The curtain fell, and I was exposed to the truth of what happened to me in first year. See, last year there was a time in my life where I genuinely referred to my friends as the great crash out, right? from March to April of my first year, the image of my perfect Trinity life came crashing to the floor. First of all, I realized that fucking ball was not a good strategy for securing second-year accommodation in Dublin. Never did that. Then I realized that going to Trinity didn't actually automatically make me smart, and I actually should have frequented the library more than I did the GMP. And then, in a final devastating blow, I realized that being a STEM man was a terrible, terrible mistake. I was left feeling homeless, stupid, drastically single, and miserably spent my days and nights tweaking the fuck out. It's awful. In that moment, was I a winner? Were my poor friends who were constantly subject to my monologues of woe winners? My fall from grace led me to behave in ways I had never behaved before. I had to cling on to whatever aspects of Trinity life I still could. Before I knew it, I was the person claiming that I was literally failing an exam I was more than prepared for. I was the person casting judging glances at anyone who dared to wear leggings on campus. I was the person asking them what they thought of the class readings that no one else had done. I looked in the mirror, and a terrifying sight met my eyes. I had become a fully fledged Trinity wanker. I had become a loser. You might be thinking, Nia, bad things happen to everyone. Why is this specific to Trinity, right? But my answer to this question is about that we're even having this debate to begin with. Because as a Trinity student, we face this overwhelming urge to keep up with the expectations of what being a Trinner winner entails, right? We need to be fashionable, studiable, and sociable without ever showing signs of struggle. So when we prove this, by BP terms, we show that as long as at least one person is going through their own great crash out, which due to like numbers is probably guaranteed, right? We prove that not all Trinners can actually always be winners like Nora claims. But there are those as well who were never winners to begin with. So again, I study law and politics, which makes me very familiar with like the murky depths of the arts block. But like we still love it because we're cute little art students and everyone around it, right? So then of course, previous to this debate, I didn't think it was possible for any Trinity student to not be a winner. So this meant for research's sake, I had to venture to parts of campus I had never braved before. I mustered every ounce of courage I had, and I visited the Hamilton. I visited the Senate building. And what I witnessed was a shocking sight. First, my sight was targeted by the crumbling, colorless, soulless building. Then, the overwhelming sense of body odor took over my senses. Not aesthetic enough for the front square, not fun enough to be invited to any of Trinity's events, and unworthy of any food or sustenance other than monster energy drinks and cold pizza, and not fashionable enough to ever be featured on campus couture. I found a Trinity demographic that had no access to all the joys that makes us law predators winners. They are silenced in this debate among the philosophy and law students. Where is the STEM representation
This is proof that we are silencing these STEM voices. How can we say that all Trinners are winners in their absence? They don't even have access to their one escape of Clash Royale because Niall informed it is blocked. It's blocked with Trinity Wi-Fi. As I wandered the hallways, I saw the skeletons of chemistry students that never escaped the lab. I witnessed math students sobbing before I could only assume to be long division. A couple of hours before this debate, I was invited to attend MathSoft's annual flagship event, a riveting whacked in out, where they get together and solve this year's junior term maths paper. Come on guys, how can proposition claim that these students, both physically and socially isolated from any form of good crack, are possibly winners? Proposition, I beg you all to wake up. Trinity, I beg you to wake up. We are blinded by the false promises of a Deloitte internship. Of being able to pull off a male mullet, sorry Owen. Of finding a Paul Nasca lookalike boyfriend. We are blinded to the injustices before our very eyes. As I stand before all of you in a maxi skirt, docs, and an off-the-shoulder sweater, I am too far gone to be saved. But if this debate leads you with one thing, let it be this. Don't take being a Trinner winner for granted. And keep those who aren't like the STEM students close to your heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Neve, for that brilliant speech. I will now put the question to the House on the motion this House believes all Trinners are winners. All those in favor, please shout aye. Aye! All those against, please shout nay. Nay! The motion is carried.
Every single goddamn week at 7:30 on a Wednesday. We will now offer you, we'll usher you over here for our free wine reception for our members. Afters and Doyles after that. Let's go.